Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Metal video, and in this video we are going to take a look at the brand new AGL Gotenks unit that was released with the thank you celebration for DBZ Dokkan Metal Global. So in this video we're going to obviously take a look at Gotenks, we'll take a look at how he performs, but he is an AoE unit, which does make him quite interesting in the fact that obviously for most AoE units their attack stats are not crazy because they are attacking multiple enemies, and makes them very perfect for events like Super Battle Road and Extreme Super Battle Road. So he is a time limit lead of 120%. He has the super attack effect of essentially raising his defense while attacking multiple enemies and also stunning them. His passive is attack and defense of 120% plus an additional attack and defense of 70% and a high chance of performing a critical hit when facing only one enemy. When he is facing two or more enemies, he gains a high chance of launching an additional super attack, and he is a time limit category 2 key and 40% attack and defense support. So pretty solid support right there for the category. In terms of build, probably one of the few units where you want to do a split, just because it'll be helpful in both situations, but I still think criticals is probably the best way to go. Critical AoEs are always super powerful and it will improve his single target damage. But he's definitely a unit that, kind of supports being split. He has Super Saiyan, the Innocent, Fierce Battle, Fused Fighter, and Prepared for Battle amongst his primary links. And in terms of category, he's a Hybrid Saiyans, Youth category, Gifted Warriors, and Time Limit Infusion category unit, realistically speaking. He's on multiple categories though, like Special Pose, Super Saiyan, but in reality, those are going to be the best categories for him to run on. So we have a 55% unit here, and we'll be running him on the Time Limit category first. So obviously Gotenks is technically actually more a support unit in the fact that he provides a lot of utility, he provides support to the category. So ideally you actually want to keep him as a floater, but we'll try him as main rotation. He's not going to be bad as a main rotation unit, but generally speaking he is a unit that's meant to be floating. He's supposed to be floating, providing support to multiple rotations. He's supposed to be able to provide utility in the form of his AoE stun. There's a whole variety of things that he can do that will assist your team in certain events. Again, single target units, we'll try him out and we'll see what he does or how he performs. But generally speaking, he is, just due to his stats and the way he comes off the banner, being a general pool unit, without a lot of dupes in him, he is going to be a little bit behind the curve. And we can see that here he's got 100k defense, which is a good amount of defense. If he fires a super attack, he'll push that up to roughly 118, 120k, which is a good amount. And he's providing support to the entire rotation, which is something you can't discount. Key is always great, especially with so many great LRs on the time limit category. The extra 40% attack and defense is a good number. So he is doing work without doing work. He's one of those types of units. And his best utility, or the best part of him, is that AoE attack. And that AoE attack is only going to show in events like SBR and ESBR. Because you can show it in Dokkan event, we will, but the AoE stun is something that's really valuable in content like ESBR and SBR. It's something that can realistically, especially when you have a unit like him that can do 3 attacks, 3 super attacks in a row, and have a chance to stun on all of them. It's something like that can really just control the course of an entire fight. Getting off a multiple AoE stun and on a turn where you're fighting 5 enemies really helps you essentially control the flow of battle, start picking them off and keeping things just relatively under control. Not to mention the fact that he'll provide defense to the entire rotation, essentially enabling units that maybe weren't able to tank is going to be a very big plus. And here we do have one of his better rotations, probably one of his best rotations in terms of, you know, just him linking with someone else. You know, there's some really good rotations where you can get all the links active, and we will get those shortly, but you know, it's a good idea here. So we've got quite a few links active. We've got 100k or so defense. I think we've got every link active except for one, if we double check. We've got every link active except for one of them. And yeah, he's got 100k defense, which is pretty decent. He gains a little bit of defense from link leveling, but nothing too crazy. This is only a 55% unit, so having any dupes or anything will improve his defense quite a bit. He's providing a solid amount of rotation to the, well, support to the rest of the rotation, which is very, very good, obviously. You can see this Gotenks, for example, hitting like an absolute truck because of, you know, being paired with the time limit one. So you can't discount anything like that. And he himself hits a somewhat okay 1.3 mil. You know, much like the Tech Goten from the Gifted Warriors, who was the Gifted Warriors support, you know, sometimes these units, until they have a dupe or two, they don't really start to shine to their fullest. But you can't discount the utility he's already providing. I mean, 120 or so K defense, very cool after supering. That's a good amount for a 55% unit. The chance to crit on that 1.3, 1.4 million attacks that he had there, also very good. No support on the rotation for him, but he's providing support to everyone else, so very good. And then, you know, just from that perspective, like, he can also stun multiple units at once, so lots of utility that he's bringing to the table, and I think that cannot be discredited. I like him. I think he's a good unit. He's something that the Fusion and the time limit category need. Obviously, he helps the Fusion team out because most of them are on time limit category. You know, a lot of them are not on time limit category. So, of course, he helps out the Fusion category. And I think he really is something that they all needed. They needed a new support. He is an ESBR, SBR unit, which really helps out on that perspective because, you know, Fusion category is very small. They could do with some of these buffs to these units. And yeah, I don't know. I'm very happy with how he is here. I'm very happy with his performance. I like what he brings to the table. We'll try him here on a youth team. This is a youth Gifted Warriors kind of hybrid. Essentially, it's just a Gifted Warriors team for the most part. But yeah, he will thrive as a pairing with this Saiyan Gotenks, which is realistic what he's here for. He's not going to be providing much support to the rest of the rotation because a lot of them are not time limit category units. And that's okay. We're just basically getting a look at him as a running mate for these Saiyan Gotenks. So we'll see how he performs. You know, basically just being a pairing partner for Saiyan Gotenks. He's going to get some support from the Tech Goten. This is a very powerful team. You know, it's a underrated team, or essentially it's maybe a not so looked over team because of just how, I want to say, uninspired the characters are, considering what people's thoughts and opinions are of them. But it's still an incredibly powerful team that just does so much good work. And here we'll be able to see him in an AoE setting, fighting multiple units at once, so we'll get a better idea of how he performs in this kind of, you know, environment without the additional buff, that 70% extra that he gets from, you know, taking on a single target unit. So we'll get at least some idea of his stats in this environment. 1.2 mil, not too bad. And, you know, because it's an AoE attack and it would be hitting multiple enemies, you could technically say that it's double that, for example. You know, hits 2 enemies, it's 2.4. He hits 1 enemy extra, it's 3.6. He hits another one, it's 4.8. But for the most part, it's the AoE stun that realistically helps him out so much, and the fact that he has a high chance of launching an additional. So you're looking at the very realistic chance that he fires multiple super attacks, and you know those will stack up, especially if you build him into that crit / additional kind of build where he has a chance to crit, where he has a chance to get 3 additionals, it could be a very interesting unit from that perspective. So yeah, obviously we see him here, 72k defense, not really the best. He would have had higher last turn with the support from Tech Goten, but yeah, not really the greatest amounts of defense here. But, you know, it's fine. We're fighting multiple enemies. He's going to take a super attack. Won't take too much damage because it is a Dokkan event. Attack stat-wise, you know, we've dropped a little bit because we don't have any support. But we are seeing that, here we go, that multiple AoE super attack, that, you know, popping out, that very impressive. Now, these units, unfortunately, can't be stunned. Which does limit the impact of being able to see. But just that double super attack there shows his value. I mean, you know, it's a good amount of damage to both units. He has a chance to stun them in ESBR and SBR. It's a very, very good mechanic that he has. I do like his passive. I think his utility he brings to the table cannot be understated. And you know, you look at how well that Int Gotenks is doing running alongside him, the kind of attack stats he's getting, the kind of defensive stat he has, all because he's getting that additional support, those good links. It makes this AGL Gotenks look like a very, very awesome running partner for that Gotenks, as a floating partner for him on a fusion team, or just as a floating, you know, unit on a fused team in general. He's got Fused Fighter, he's got Super Saiyan, he provides a buff to all of them. I just don't really see an issue. So yeah, very impressive, very, very good performance. Yeah, he's got, you know, a little bit more. We've got a little bit more defense because obviously we do have the support from the Strength Gotenks. And yeah, I think in terms of performance, you probably will find that he does, at least at a rainbow level, comparatively will outshine the Strength Gotenks. His attack stat will be higher, his defensive stat will be higher, and he provides an AoE stun comparatively to a single target stun that the Strength Gotenks has. And he also provides a, you know, essentially, I want to say unlimited, but he provides a non-restricted support in the form of just being a time limit category support. So for the most part, he definitely looks like an upgraded version of that Strength Gotenks. It's just going to be getting the dupes in him over time that will enable him to outshine the existing Strength Gotenks. But together they make a very good combination, as we can see here. They provide a good amount of support to each other, especially in AoE situations. You're going to have a lot of stun. We're going to use the active skill just because, yeah, I haven't seen it in a while. So yeah, but realistically, I think AGL Gotenks, if you need any way to measure him, essentially just an upgraded Strength Gotenks. So if you like Strength Gotenks, if you like the build, if you like the cut of his jib, then you're probably going to like AGL Gotenks. And I do like AGL Gotenks. I think at 55%, maybe the attack stat appears a bit underwhelming, but the defensive stat in a single target situation is decent. 120 or so K after supering. His, you know, all-round abilities in a AoE situation is very good. And yeah, I personally just find him an impressive unit. So in terms of linking partners, obviously we want to look for things like Super Saiyan, Prepared for Battle, Fierce Battle. Those are going to be the very, very common links that he will achieve linking with a lot of units. A lot of hybrid Saiyans, a lot of pure Saiyans, a lot of them are going to have these links because they're not necessarily difficult to get. They are quite common on a vast majority of units that fall under those categories. You can see that reflected in the list here. There's a couple of Super Saiyan 4s. You know, there's definitely a good array of options. So Gotenks has his options, you know what I mean? He's a super duper solid unit. There's a lot of youth units here who will have the Innocence, which will also proc for him. You know, so overall, he's got quite a few linking partners on the Hybrid Saiyans, Youth, and Gifted Warriors category. You can see here there's a lot of them that proc the Innocence, and all of those, you know, barring the Gotenkses, the strength and physical one, you can use to proc that. And if you take away Prepared for Battle, you'll see that list grow a little bit more. So yeah, if we take away Prepared for Battle, you'll see that list grow a little bit more. Obviously the Int Gotenks we've discussed a couple times, being one of his better premium pairing partners, but there's also units like the Tech Goten, who would provide his own support to him as well, who's a very solid unit, shares quite a few links with him. A lot of them, if they don't have Prepared for Battle, will have the Saiyan lineage, which is a great alternative link. So in reality, Gotenks has a lot of options. I wouldn't place him on a youth team under something like Goku. I always feel like Goku's more orientated towards a DB Saga youth team. Similarly, you can place him on teams with Gohan Kid, but you're going to run into the same issue. You're going to lose the added bonus of not having the time limit category support from Gotenks affecting other units. That being said, it's not mandatory to have that affect them, but I would at least have it affect his pairing partner. You know, like the Int Gotenks, pair him up with an SS3 Gotenks, but just pair him up with someone who can take advantage of that buff, so at least you're getting something out of it, rather than it just sitting on the AGL Gotenks. But I think that's going to be it from me, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about AGL Gotenks. Did you manage to pull them? Did you not manage to pull them? You know, what stages have you used them in? What have you not used them in? And yeah, just realistically, whether you like the unit or not. I personally like him. I'm going to be using him in a couple videos. I'll be using him for fusion unit showcases, and I will also use him to show off how he does in the fusion ESBR, because I think that's a very important stage for him to be in. So yeah, but as always, guys, I want to thank you all for watching the video. And if you're looking for a good free-to-play pairing partner, by the way, this Gotenks is very good. They share 6 links, which is very powerful, and these are free-to-play options, so you never have to worry too much. But yeah, that's going to be it from me, guys. So as always, take care, stay safe, and I will catch you in the next video. Leave a like down below if you enjoyed the video, and bye!